It's been 6 days since the gruesome murder and rape, possibly even gang rape, of the 31-year-old doctor at Kolkata's RJ Kar Medical College and Hospital, which has left the nation shocked. Let's tell you, only one person has been arrested so far in this case. As the CBI officially took over the probe in the matter, a 25-member team of the central agency visited the RJ Kar Medical College and Hospital on Wednesday. They were accompanied by a forensic team that collected samples from the crime scene. The team is expected to camp in Kolkata until the completion of the probe. Apart from revealing the brutality of the crime, the autopsy also shed light on how the victim fought fiercely against her attacker in a prolonged fight, with the report suggesting that her head and face were violently banged against a wall. Even as the probe continues, the girl's family has submitted a petition in court claiming that Devi had a significant amount of semen in her body, suggesting gang rape. Dr. Subarna Goswami, who was privy to the final autopsy report, has doubled down on his remark that the evidence points towards gang rape. This is contrary to the claims made by the Kolkata cops, who maintain that only one person was involved in the crime. Listen in.
Their parents showed us the postmortem report, final postmortem report, which reveals that there are multiple injuries to the victim's body, starting from head to toe, all over her face, everywhere. Both her eyes were suffused, congested with blood. Blood was oozing out of eyes, nose, mouth. And her cheeks were abrased, her lips were abrased, bruised, and neck, jaw, everything, everywhere. And her private parts, her ankles, knees, shoulders, all were bruised. And the external injuries, as postmortem report reveals. And apart from that, they collected very, many specimens like lip swab, like nipple swab, like anal swab, vaginal swab. They also collected a white, thick, viscid fluid from endocervical canal of the victim, that is inside the vagina. It is most probably semen that will be proved in the lab only, forensic lab only. But that specimen weighs 151 grams.
Adrija Saha, my colleague who has, of course, been reporting from Ground Zero for us, is joining me live once again. In fact, let's tell you, she is inside RJ Kar Hospital. The visuals that you're seeing on your screens at the moment is of the vandalism that took place. So let me begin by asking you about that, Adrija. Given the situation is perhaps still tensed on Ground Zero, give us more details. And just for our viewers to better understand the aftermath of what took place last night, give us a quick sense of what it's looking like on Ground Zero.
Well, first of all, I'm standing at the entrance of the emergency department from where the mob last night had barged inside. And as we walk in, I will show you. First of all, on my left side is the counter where admissions take place, the ticket counter where the visitors are expected to get it from and then go to the respective departments. This is the admission.
Glass, absolute shattered glasses, even the electronic devices, the beds have been shattered, the medical supplies have been shattered, and at the same time, you see at the door, glass has been shattered, and CCTV cameras hanging right outside the door. That is on my, the CCTV camera that's
outside the door. That is on my, the CCTV camera that was vandalized is hanging right outside the door. On my right side, if you just see on my right side, another admission counter, and same situation, shattered glass, chairs broken, absolute, garden brought in, cupboards broken down, supplies broken down, absolute vandalism that has taken place last night itself. Now, as we walk inside the premises, as we walk inside into the emergency, looking at the state of this particular floor of emergency, one can only question regarding the security that had present or the amount of violence that had taken place. here last night. As we move forward, you can see that it is absolutely dark in the corridor. There are no lights present. There's no electronic devices because all of them were vandalized. You can see the situation, the fans which has been disfigured completely, medical supplies that has been broken, cupboards, doors shattered, lying on the floor, walls of the ward. Dialysis ward broken down. So, this is another room that I would like to show you. You can see medical supplies are lying on the floor here because, the fridge is broken. There was a fridge here where medicines were stored, and all the medical supplies, the medicines, everything is lying on the floor. We can see a lot of wires here, dialysis wires, because this floor, they provided the service of dialysis. So, of course, switchboards been broken down, and absolute vandalism here because it is very, very hurtful to also see because now it is forced that the emergency is forced. And in fact, if I go inside here and show you, this is the emergency observation main ward, if you can see. And I will show you the situation here. You can see it is broken down, absolutely vandalized, non-functioning, chairs fallen down, beds have been, made open wild. Equipments, in fact, medical equipments that were here has been broken down. So very, grave situation continues to remain here. You can see walls broken down, switchboards not functioning, all the essentials that were present here. Mind you, this is the emergency building where the incident have taken place, where the body of the woman, of the 31-year-old doctor, was found on the third floor of this very building, and the ground floor today stands absolutely vandalized, unable to function or provide any kind of operation to even the dialysis patients who had appointments for today.
Right, Adrija. In fact, as you draw things into perspective about that, this clearly shows there was a major security lapse as well, given what we're looking at ground zero and how you're showing us. But stay with me because we want to tell our viewers more about what has happened so far as the shocking incident is concerned. Let's tell you, a midnight protest by the doctors in Kolkata clearly turned into a nightmare, like the way my colleague was putting things into context. In fact, like Adrija said, the mob pelted stones at vehicles, a bike was set on fire. The scale of vandalism and destruction of public property is pretty evident from the horrific visuals that our colleagues got us from ground zero. Now, after the protests turned violent, the cops fired tear gas shells and lathi charged the protesters to bring the situation under control. Even the riot control police was out on the street to control the volatile situation. Remember, the Reclaim the Night protest was organized by the doctors in Kolkata to seek justice for the brutal rape and murder of a young PGT doctor. Several doctors from various parts of the city had joined the protest. First, listen into this reaction, and then I'll take that point across to my colleague Adrija.
DCP North Division, who was protecting these boys, he is unconscious. You must know this. And what has happened here is because of the media, the wrong media campaign, which has been malicious media campaign, which is going as far as Kolkata police is concerned. What has Kolkata police not done? In this case, they have done everything, and I'll do it. I'm saying it under everything under my command. My men have worked day and night to detect this case, to collect evidences. They collect the best of evidences. The main accused has been arrested. We have tried to satisfy the family. The rumors are being floated that some Mahapatro being connected with some political Mahapatro. He's an intern whose parents, we verified this. He comes from a very small place. His father is a primary school teacher. Doesn't have any kind of a background, political background. People are spreading these kind of rumors.
Adrija, coming back to you as far as this is concerned, we heard that particular reaction. Look, there are two aspects of this. One with the fact that he says there's fear-mongering, the aspect about how that campaign, which of course essentially was to reclaim the night in terms of the protest by the doctors. But he's talking about how there was fear-mongering about, rumors being spread. But very interestingly, if you happen to look at it, with the autopsy details that you were also drawing things into perspective, where it is suggestive of a gang rape. There are no details about that. We haven't seen reactions coming in officially as far as what action in the probe that has been taken. But very quick to be, drawing perspective about these rumors. Considering the fact that what we've looked at, there are several angles in which every particular question will be raised now, whether it's ground zero, whether it's the investigation, why what has to be addressed first hasn't been addressed the way that it should have perhaps, then it wouldn't have led to this particular situation that we're seeing on the ground.
Well, yes, you see, there were several, lapses from what we can say initially. But first of all, police has been conducting the incident. Initially, they had arrested one person who have, they are claiming to be the prime accused in this manner. Although others, the students especially, want to believe that it is not the case, and this is not the work of only one person. There were several other people present here. Even the doctors, the forensic doctors that we have spoken to have, given a similar statement mentioning that there was a particular amount of semen found in her body, which proves that, it is not a work of only one person. There were several persons who have actually gone ahead and have, committed this horrific crime. So these are the things that is there. And at the same time, also the Calcutta High Court coming down so heavily on the state administration as well as the Kolkata police especially, and questioning, their role into this entire investigation, because first of all, they question...
Right, Adija, although you're getting us those details, I'd have to interject you there, but we'll continue to come back to you to keep us ahead as far as this is concerned. But let's also tell you, with the fact that we're showing you these visuals on your screens, this is of the vandalism that has taken place. You can look at what is happening over here. In fact, on ground zero, like Adrija is stating, although this has happened last night, it still continues to remain tense. But what really transpired? What was the aftermath of that? Both my colleagues, Pooja Mehta and Adrija Saha as well, bring us those reports. Take a look.
While the city was witnessing silent protest and protest marches across the city against the brutal rape and murder of a doctor of Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, an irate mob entered the Arjikar Hospital, and you can see behind me they've left behind a trail of destruction. These are the barricades that were put up right outside the main gate of the Arjikar Medical College and Hospital. This irate mob entered into the hospital and they attacked the protesting doctors here. You can see this is the stage and the dais where the doctors have been protesting past several days. Junior doctors, resident doctors, interns, nursing staff, they have been all protesting against the brutal rape and murder of their colleague. And this irate mob which entered here, they ran amok inside the hospital. They broke down and vandalized this entire stage, this entire bamboo scaffolding and the chairs. Later on, they came prepared and there were some pre-planned, this is what the security guard is saying, that they came prepared. Mob entered the emergency building. First of all, they pulled down this entire board that was up and they ransacked the entire emergency department. All of the beds, all of the lights, fans, nothing was spared. And you can see how they vandalized all the glass panes. You can see there's glass, and you can see how these glasses have been completely shattered, broken. And you can see how these glasses have been completely shattered, broken. They have, in fact, damaged. The department were, in fact, vandalized by this particular mob. You can see they vandalized all of these and they entered into this male ward. And you can see they have overturned the beds. They haven't spared even the beds which are used by the patients, all of the equipments that are used by the patients. And you can see there's no light at this point in time. It's completely dark here because they have vandalized the lights and the fans. Nothing is spared. As we enter this emergency department, which was not functioning past few days because of the strike which was called by the resident doctors and all the other staff of Arjikar Medical College who had joined, but slowly and steadily they were functioning and they were to get back to service. And that is when you can see they have overturned this particular fridge as well. They have overturned this table. All of the, medicines and the, ampules and syringes or whatever is required for the patients is stored here is completely ransacked, vandalized, damaged. This is the nursing station of the emergency department. You can tell the extent of damage that this particular mob has left behind. All that is left here is just a trail of destruction. And you can see everywhere, this particular mob went amok. They ransacked everything and anything that they had access to. Thereafter, they tried to enter the departments, but for the longest period of time, police was trying to prevent them from entering. But the biggest question is that when a heinous crime like this happens, when an on-duty doctor was raped and murdered, what was the police doing?
Time for a quick break here, but lots more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.